just said that was really nice. I appreciate that.
It's also a joke that he's only funny to production.
But yeah, Team Secret's composition is quite different as well. So they've really tried to come up with different compositions from their heavy defeat to SGB. I hope this is the last time that I bring this up, because I've been repeating myself a little too much on that point, but it is important. It is very important to see, because it's very impressive as well. I was rewatching all of Secret's games, and honestly came to the conclusion that this team is doomed. I looked at the early games against SGB and thought, okay, they are not ready to compete against any of the teams. Yes, SGB might be very impressive, but if you're 5k gold down on average at 15 minutes, it definitely doesn't bode well for you. That is ridiculous. So they have done a lot of work to come up with different picks, and the Silas for Artifact is not really a champion I'd associate with him, but what it did in the drafting phase, on the place it was drafted, was actually kind of block Gnar from Enper. And we talked a lot about Gnar Enper in the last game, and now he went Renekton against instead of Gnar. He had the option of going Gnar, but you never really want to do that into Silas. So maybe that was all they wanted to do here. The bot lane is a whole different enigma we have to kind of figure out over the course of the game. But yeah, focusing mostly on Artifact, who had a quiet game 3 and needs to come back to his form of game 1 and 2. This is now all on his shoulders.
Well, actually, I do want to pull it down to the bot lane, because the only champions of the VCS are in the bot lane. It's the two supports. And looking at Palette, he's gone for... He's been on this resurgence, is what I meant to say. I started the sentence wrong. He's been on a resurgence. He had a terrible split a few splits ago, and he's slowly been building himself back up. So it's a decrepit old mummy of Palette up against an Amumu. How do you think he's going?
Well, the Braum is another one of those champions that you don't really associate with this player. I'm sure Palette has played his fair share of Braum. Every support has who has played the game for a few years. It's actually the most played for most long-standing supports. People like Hylissang have most played Braum, so I'm sure Palette has his Braum games, but it's really not a champion you would think of if you think of Palette. You think Yuumi, you think Bard, Rakan, stuff like that, right? So it's a different look. It's very much also counterpick focused, so we saw a lot of counterpick and anticipatory counterpicks in this draft. They're trying to deny this insane combo of Eddie and Zuhao with the curse of the sad bullet time, or whatever Rebel was calling it. So,
sarcophagus. I like that one.
Yeah, it's a cool word. But the problem is, this kind of deprives him of playmaking potential. So a defensive Palette is not my favorite Palette. Let's see if he can step up in this kind of playstyle as well.
It will be interesting to see if he can manage it. I actually do like seeing Enpa on Renekton as well. It's not actually a champion he's played a huge amount of, as Palette taken very low, not doing well with his first matchup into. We've been corrected, by the way. It's the Scarcophagus.
Oh.
Because a Scar is a type of gun, and as Rebel said, he's American. I like it less now. But anyway, back into things in the game. I like Enpa on Renekton. I like champions he can play aggressively on, similar to what you were saying about Palette. I like that he has control of that lane.
Well, you say that, but in game 2, where they had everything to set up the Renekton Sejuani, as we have the first game from Penguin,
DR1, time to flash. Yep.
Nicely done. Yeah, they had everything set up to play around Renekton with Renekton Sejuani, and they did nothing. They just let him sit there and lane. This is already more aggression than that game. Can they dive? Another
tower they go. Enpa making it happen. Culls the Meek and takes him down. There will be a teleported artifact arrives. Will burn DNK's flash, and with Penguin reinforcing. Do they want the 2v2? They do not.
No mana on artifact and only level 3. As we have a big clash in the bot lane. That's a stun. And he has no mana. I don't think SE really had to turn back here. Still have Exhaust and Cleanse ready, so a little bit surprised by their reluctance to go for the trade. To be fair, they are down in HP, but the mana bar does not look promising from Eddie.
It doesn't, but they are just playing it safe. As Let's have a look at what happened in the top side. This was a fairly textbook dive.
Yeah, this time they executed much better because they start with Renekton. The last time they tried this with Lissandra, it was a little bit of a problem to get Renekton onto the dive. This time they just start with Renekton, which makes it much easier for Vi to follow up instantly, and this was played perfectly. They did blow 2 flashes, which is not the greatest result, but still a kill over to the Renekton should mean full lane control now to Emper.
It definitely should, if this Renekton with the early pickaxe. So you have to see where, what he can snowball that into. As, DR1 may have stepped a little bit too far forward, but a charm onto Artifact right as DNK arrives. Zhuhao here to ward off any plays. Penguin lurking as well. Everyone around this mid lane.
Oh, with a nicely timed drone, this gives now full priority over to Team Secret on the bot lane river. But Palette is here as well. He needs to be careful. He's only level 3.
Yeah, he needs to be really careful. He puts up the shield, but it's not going to stop him getting stunned up. Has to flash away from the chains.
That could have predicted that flash. Not quite with the most impressive Salas moments at the start of the game, but he has time to scale into it. So we haven't seen him on Salas.
He predicted that flash, considering he flashed out of range.
Okay, fair enough. Another dive attempt. This is a very squishy Mendinar. This is exactly how we want to play Vi Renekton. Here we go.
And repeat. The hands are clean. We can have dinner now, and the meal is hero.
Perfectly played. We finally see them play around top lane, and now it makes me wonder even more, why did you not do this in game 2? But it doesn't matter now. We're in game 4. If you can do it now, you can mount the reverse sweep. We are already 1 game in for SBTC. Remember, they were 0-2 down, so this is now all momentum on their side. Almost a 2k gold lead to start this game off.
Yeah, and this is, again, just super textbook. There's nothing Hero can do about this.
Hero needed to run away way earlier. They need to invest in some vision to protect him from these dives. He's already falling behind in CS. That's gonna happen inevitably, but you have to stop dying. This is too much gold and too many plates over to SPTC, so you really have to just invest into some pink wards to spot that rotation, make sure Hero can actually just collect a little bit of experience.
Dia once again focused on in the mid lane, had that ult to get out of there this time. Ari post level 6 is just not going to die to Jarvan ganks, if we're being totally honest. Need to see Penguin going elsewhere, but the question is, where does he go? You don't really want to touch the bot lane. I think you just are happy letting that one exist, and I don't know if you can go top.
So I do think bot lane is an option once Eddie and Zhuhao hit level 6. A little bit of a freeze here. Oh, there we go. And you have so much combo potential.
Going in, there's the make it rain. This is just going to be damage, but Zhuhao taking a hell of a lot in exchange, as Eddie can't get his damage through Palette. And with the boomerang blade landing, Zhuhao's just been absolutely beaten black and blue.
You can certainly see the value of Braum.
No,
this is where Braum excels.
He's getting
on hunt.
Spotted. Yeah, he got
early.
He has flag and drag, flashes away, in they go, but the shield is just blocking all this make it rain. They do manage to get the damage regardless. And now with the make it rain coming down, they're making it rain gold on the top side. Hero got a solo kill as well, and it's all Team Secret all around the rift.
It's a 1-for-1 in the top lane as Enper dived him and died to the tower, if I see that correctly, but the bot lane is a complete disaster. Eddie hit level 6, the turning point, and they had the Braum shield, but it's not protecting you against anything after a while, and it still hit the Braum for a lot of damage after that. It's such a good flash. We see the solo kill in top lane again. This time Enper can't get out of the tower. Ooh, that E doomed him to die. A little unfortunate. He still gets so much out of this. This is still a winning play for Enper. This is exactly what we expect from him. Solo kills after a little bit of early investment. But the bot lane, I need to see that again. That was a disastrous play, and this brings Team Secret right back into the game, plus the first dragon.
Yeah, they are well and truly back into it. Enper still very strong, able to zone Hero away. He has a big CS lead. A lot of components. No Mythic completed yet, of course. It's very early. And
wait, you say that, and then look down in the bot lane.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you make a strong point your way. As forward goes Hero, just wants to use that Gnar to clear the wave. SE will get themselves a Rift Herald. And this game is sort of just slingshotting back and forth, but now we're at an even.
Yeah, now we have a complete power split between those two teams. Insanely accelerated Eddie on the bot side, and Emperor being the emperor of the top lane in the top side for SE. SE instantly redeeming their first objective in the top lane, with Emperor just providing so much pressure. This should be an easy tower. He might... yeah, they can't... They don't have to use the Herald, so that opens up another avenue into the bot lane, maybe. As Celebrity just has to get away. Good
spell shield. Well done there. They didn't follow it up with the Cataclysm. Don't need to. As they're just going to zone them away, take some tower plates of their own.
And put teleport ready. This is dangerous. Team Secret can't overstep too long.
Yeah, I mean, with Celebrity backing, I don't think they can stop the play super early. They might be able to save the tower, though.
They are pinging for it, so Eddie is in a pretty bad spot. If he gets flash W'd from the Renekton. Yeah, okay. They decide against the play. It's the safer option. They still have the Herald, so they might even get another few platings in the bot lane. It is a big rift in bot lane itemization and gold for the two AD carries. But on the other hand, it's also two very different AD carries. So it's not like Zeri against Sivir, where it's just, okay, we build the same items, we do the same thing in team fights. Elite is really detrimental. Sivir and MF play very differently. So yes, Eddie is super strong. Eddie actually with the on-hit build on MF, we don't see it too often. Higher solo queue win rate build is definitely the other one. But here we go.
Into the cage is the Jarvan as they throw out the bullet time as well. Look at the damage as they just melt away. Artifact joining the fight, seals away the cease and desist. Can he find his way onto DNK? No, not quite. Dia1 lurking on the side, but it's 4v3. I don't know if you can do anything about this one, SE, but they're going to have a crack at it regardless as Emperor is so strong. Takes down Penguin. What can they get done? Chains landing onto Dia. They can't quite follow it up. Team Secret will be forced back. Dia not quite done with it. But I think they will just back off now. SE clapping back. But it's still a good play from Team Secret. And now a bandage lands, and it's round 2 at the OK Corral. And Team Secret have been rounded up and thrown in the slammer.
They take another round. They were fine with the play, but they just engaged on the top side. They forgot about the power of the top side of SE because they've only played in the bot side, and suddenly the Renekton, the Vi, and the Ahri just overwhelmed them. Look at this combo. It's so great. And SBTC tried to prevent this from happening by picking the Braum, but it's just not enough. The combo of those of ADC support and jungle just locks them down in place and buys so much time, so much AoE damage also from Zhu Hao. I would really like to see damage numbers. But here we go, Emperor. Remember, he just finished his first item. This is the strongest point in the game for Renekton, and he's wrecking through their health bars. This is the most important part, where they re-engage on Emperor, but he's just too tanky, too much healing. And then also the Vi buying so much time, still with the ultimate available to get on top of Eddie. They get the shutdown, 2 kills over to Vi. So now everything that goes on with Renekton and Vi, you have to run away from. Those two champions are too strong right now. Just try to punish bot lane even more, because the kill lead is over to SE again. They also collect a tower. They collected the tower in the top lane and got a few platings out of the bot lane. So that's open for the taking now as well.
And your way, I am so happy. Look at Emperor's inventory. That's a serrated Dirk. He's going damage.
Ooh,
Emperor knows that he is the God Emperor of the Rift, and he is going to carry his team.
That is some spicy itemization. He might get one shot later. If he gets hit by the combo for Zhu Hao and Eddie and Penguin, then he goes down very quickly too. But on the other hand, he can also just obliterate Eddie in any situation where he gets close to him. So I like this aggressive mindset. He's finally back on some of his regular season form. He needed a lot of games to get back into it, but it might just be in time to save his team.
Yeah, I mean, when everything was at its darkest, they finally let him off the tanks. And that might have been exactly what they had to do, as now it's a 2k gold lead for SE as they equalize the Dragons and they set up for a 5-man play onto the bot side. Make it rain, we'll hold them back for a moment, and Team Secret are just going to dive on the other side. Bullet time, shut down the Renekton. DNK in trouble, has to get over the wall, uses the cease and desist, and then Vault Breaker's out. Paulette jumping over the wall, and now Dia1 arriving. They had a numbers advantage before this play, but Dia1 goes down. Zhu Hao burns to death, but look at Artifact as he's getting those chains whirling. He's slaying King. things. He's cooking chickens as the Silas goes absolutely hog wild for 2.
And both of these teams just throwing it back and forth. Now Team Secret with a huge outplay on the defense. We just talked about Enper's build, and there you saw it. He's not the tanky Renekton we've seen so many seasons. If he gets caught by this combo, he dies instantly. That's exactly the case. Eddie gets the kill, and now the fight is almost doomed already. This is the swip swap of his positions, and they just overcommit. Dia1 is so greedy, but he doesn't get the last hit, and everything just falls apart for the side of SBTC. Now Team Secret back in control. And this game is just too much chaos. Both of these teams don't really know what they're doing, but they are struggling for their lives. They need to win this game. Team Secret would go on to the next round and eliminate SBTC, and this is a must-win situation for SBTC. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Your way. SE is the quintessential Vietnamese team. They've always been. They've got the big fan base. The Vietnamese Vietnamese fan base love them. You know why? It's because they'll slather themselves in oil. They'll get down in the mud and they'll have an absolute rumble tumble with anyone that comes to them. And they are pulling Team Secret down into the blood, sweat, and shit.
I'm not sure if it's working because
I didn't say it necessarily would, but that's what they'll do.
Technically, they're 100 gold ahead, so it's still a very even game, and any fight could go either way. Honestly, after those last few minutes, I have no idea whom to favor. They still have an insanely strong top side, but if you shut down Enper, like they were able to do in the last fight, you saw how quickly he can fall as well. He might have to invest into an early GA or something like that to get rid of that threat and actually pose a little bit more of a challenge to the enemy team to overcome. Oh no, oh, okay, DNK. Sniffs it out. He really wants to go there, but he knows he shouldn't. Just that mind and heart definitely at odds there with each other.
They've reset. Now he goes in and goes, oh, they weren't here. But then Paulette will spot them with the control ward. Good instincts there from SE. Now they might be able to get a clutch.
Those players.
No, never mind.
He played so many years alongside Artifact and Celebrity as well, who's not also on this team, but especially Artifact. Artifact DNK used to be a combo of jungle and mid for such a long time. They were supposed to be friends forever, but unfortunately now they find each other to be foes on the rift.
They do. And oh man, Friends Forever Gaming. I want them back. It's tragedy. They're not friends forever your way. They lied.
It's such a good name.
I love
that
it.
name. Man, those names in 2017, 2018 VCS were goofy. They were goofy.
Oh my. And now the Prowler's Claw has been completed for Enper. They need to find their way back right now because he's not getting stronger in this game. He is going to be made of paper as this one continues. Needs to find some one-shots. Rift Herald will be summoned up. We'll be able to break open this mid lane, which is a good start. But look at who's here. Look at the combo.
The inevitable overgrouping for SBTC. It happens every single mid game. They always do this. The problem is most of the time it's with on, and then it's really bad. In this case, it's okay. They still lose a little bit of pressure and experience on the side lanes. You can see Enper is actually behind on experience after demolishing Hero in lane with all the help from DNK, of course. But still, Hero is actually a higher level now. Enper should still be stronger in the 1v1, I think. But with his build, he's not really built to dominate the 1v1. The Prowler's Claw into a tanky target is not the greatest, but here we go again.
Dia1 lands a charm onto Penguin with the cease and desist as well. Artifact steals one away, can interrupt the play, but I don't think he wants to go for it. He doesn't want to get locked into an animation. Dia1 now challenging forward. Has to flash, does Artifact.
Yeah, and Enper teleported over here, so now Hero with the free tower in the bot lane. This is exactly what happened in the GAM against SBTC matchup as well. It was Kiaya in the side lane in that matchup. Now Hero is just mirroring Kiaya. It's almost the same picture. It's a different champion, but this is exactly what happened there. At 18 minutes, that's in a tower, and so much gold funneled into this Gnar that struggled to even get a single CS for so many minutes. So you artificially made the enemy top laner stronger for just one kill on the other side. Not worth it, but this is very much in line with how SBTC have been playing the whole playoffs. Very, very group-focused, always running into mid lane together and slightly overgrouping and forgetting about those side lane CS and experience.
Yeah, and another dragon goes over to Team Secret. They'll move up to 2 as they pick up the first of our dominant dragons. How does SE figure this one out your way? The gold is even, but it doesn't feel like an even game.
Yeah, the really strange thing about this composition and how it fell in the early game is that Sivir is so far behind and Renekton is so far ahead. So they really want to do 2 completely different things. Sivir would just like to stay put in the lane and farm for the next 10 minutes. Renekton would hate that, so they need to figure out a way to incorporate the Sivir into their game plan, which should be Renekton focused, because they invested so much time into actually propping up the Renekton. To let him fall off for free now would be devastating. So I feel like they need to play around the Renekton more and ignore the Sivir, just use her as an engage tool, as a utility tool, and maybe she gets the odd kill here or there, but right now they're a little bit too hesitant to actually pull the trigger, and every minute ticking by makes Renekton a little bit weaker on this build.
Hero getting hunted down. There's that Prowler's Claw getting some action. Cease and desist. And Hero's put in the cells.
That is very nice. They get the tower as well, but they need to react. There's the Baron call on the other side. DR1 is here. They have vision. They know it's happening. Can they stop it?
I don't know if they can. Orb of Deception doesn't get much done. They get a bullet time to burn it down even faster. There it is. But now you have to get out of the pit. A celebrity has arrived. Tier 1 immediately falling. Paulette is in trouble. Put in the cage. And never just arriving too late. Team Secret, they get the Baron. They get 2 kills. And that surely feels like a big blow.
An amazing call for Secret to make in this situation. Hero must be screaming in comms, but hopefully he's not. He actually played it. He had nothing to do. He was dead, but his team reacted instantly, and this is also something Team Secret showed glimpses of in the last game against SGB. Very quick Barons. Sometimes to their detriment, sometimes to sneak the Baron. This time the call was the correct one. They just pushed the enemy strong side into the bot lane. They were too greedy. They knew the Renekton would hunt for another kill. And there it is, the first big objective going over to Team Secret. 2k gold lead. And what can they do with this Baron?
It's a good question your way. I'm sorry about that. I had an emergency in my house. Whew. We're back.
And right now, it's all on Secret's hand. The Secret has the ball in their side of the court. They have the next move if they choose to go for it. SBTC could try to counterplay, could try to counteract some movement from Team Secret. This is something Team Secret is very good at. I'm not so sure about SBTC, so they need to show us that they're able to read the situation, react to Team Secret's movements. And it seems like Secret is playing this Baron push rather slowly. It's only a Baron at 21 minutes, so the pushing power, it is there, but it's not the strongest late game Baron. And DR1, oh!
How he's caught out. They're going to go in, lock him down. He actually gets nothing off. Didn't have that the Curse of the Sad Mummy. As they go in, bullet time, finding a whole lot of nothing. Team Secret's combo has completely failed this fight.
Yeah, and SBTC find the engage. This time it's DR1 buying time on the side, and SBTC pulling the trigger on the other half of the fight. Eddie not finding anything, as he said, with his ultimate. They still want to continue the push. Hero has no stacks. This is dangerous. They could be engaged, and Hero is so squishy. We've seen him die so many times already this game. It seems like they've called off the play. So the Baron is just going to be a little bit of nice gold early on in the game. It's not really going to yield any objectives, which is not too uncommon with a 20-minute Baron, but it's still an excellent call, and the game is in Team Secret's control. It's not completely one-sided, though. SBTC certainly has a chance to come back.
They absolutely do. This game feels like it honestly could go either way. I hesitate to even say Team Secret is ahead at this point. But they do have the Baron, of course. It's about to time out. So they don't really have the Baron. Ignore that. But your way, where do they really take this game? Who is going to strike next?
We do have the next objective on the cards, which is the Ocean Drake. And as we pointed out earlier, basically every single fight, every minute ticking by is bad for SBTC, is top side at least. The bot side is getting stronger, but the top side doesn't really get that much stronger. I mean, the Renekton actually finished a nice tank item, a standalone tank item that's gonna make him resist those one-shots, hopefully. but they want to fight for this dragon. They don't want to give it up, because in 5 minutes, the enemy team's probably a little bit stronger, especially the Silas getting closer to level 16. That's not something you want to deal with. So in that position, SBTCs, and SBTC, weirdly enough, is one of the teams that just tends to give up a lot of the dragons. We've seen so many teams over in the LPL, it's every single one. Over here in VCS, it's almost every single one. We fight for dragon, no matter what's going on. Sometimes it's bad, but in this case, SBTC just gives it up for nothing. Doesn't even get a tower on the other side, or push, or a good reset. It's just a free dragon in the truest sense of the word for Team Secret, now on Soul Point, and that could be the serious deciding moment in 5 minutes.
And the realistic thing here is just that I don't think SE at this point in the game can be second to an objective. I think they have to be Johnny on the spot. They have to be the first to the objective, because if you walk into MF, Jarvan, and Amumu, you don't walk away.
Yeah, that's very true. We have seen actually this demonstrated multiple times in the game. And SBTC, they need flank wards. They want to use Ari Renekton to disrupt this combo. If you let MF just sit there and use her range and her ultimate, she's a great champion. The reason she's not that amazing in pro play most of the time is she's not the biggest lane stomper ever, which is the only times really we see her in the meta in pro play, is that she's just so stationary. She has to stun herself to use her best ability. And usually that's not good enough for pro, but so far they've struggled to get him. That's another hero attempt. Hero's mega though.
Yeah, they're going to have a crack at him. He's got a lot of health. There's a wallop on DNK under tower. This has gone horribly. And now with the teleport coming in, Artifact is here. They can try and clean up the croc. He's going to go in onto Hero, but Hero just exits the fight. And now there's a big Silas on the hunt. Enpa should be able to get away, but looks like they're throwing spaghetti at the wall and it's not sticking. Oh, no. Oh, shocker.
Oh, SBTC have completely lost their minds. That was a Meganar. Why are you trying to kill level 16 Meganar? Just defend your base. Give your Sivir at least a little bit of a chance to carry you. That was completely unnecessary, and DNK and Emperor might have just thrown away the last chances of SBTC to make it into Worlds. This is an elimination game, and his Naba is almost full when they start the fight. They dive under tower. It's so doomed from the start. It's a really bad call.
If Enpa's tanking, this goes a lot better.
That's true, but it's still... I don't think Hero dies anyway, and there's a tower still. Enpa could have gotten away, but he fails his E over the wall too, and we have Baron in the picture. It's once again Secret on the Baron.
That's egregiously bad, as he does get cleaned up. In the picture-in-picture, the Glacial Fissure has been used. SE currently just chunked out, but Baron has reset. So Team Secret held off for now.
Okay, not a second Baron over to Team Secret. That would have been the first step to the last hurrah from SBTC, because they can't really give up another Baron, especially with the dragon spawning. It's paramount that they defend this one. So SBTC, they need to invest more into vision. Look at the enemy jungle. Look at the bot side jungle of the whole map. There's not a single ward from SBTC. They have nothing to teleport to. Enpa's teleport is down, to be fair, because he teleported into the play, so it's not really that important right now. But the whole game, if you look at it holistically, they just fail to establish good vision to try and get on top of Eddie, and he's a monster. Look at his items, 3.5 items now. If he gets to free fire, if he gets to use his ultimate on multiple members, this champion deals about 6,000 damage in 2 seconds, so you really can't afford to let that happen.
Baron getting lower, half health at the moment. DNK is here, can Vault Break over the wall, but Hero's about to go Mega and zone him off. Vault Breaker's used, Gnar into the wall, he can't even flash. That is Baron secured, and SE are in trouble. There is that bullet time used all entirely onto Enpa, but that's going to work out as Jarvan's doing the rest on the other side. As put him in the cage, and they're going to take him down. Artifact moving forward, a double kill now for Eddie. Can they pick up anything more? Of course they can. Artifact will get that one. And in they go. Team Secret have won the fight. They've picked up the Baron, and they are looking to pick themselves up a losers quarterfinal, semi-final, whatever we're calling this one. Last chance saloon is what I'm calling it, and it is going to be the last chance for SE, absolutely consumed in the fires of Team Secret. The Eye of Sauron turns towards them and vaporizes their hopes for Worlds. Team Secret will lock themselves in for another chance to go over to the United States and represent Vietnam. They'll be facing the loser of GUM versus SGB. A tough nut to crack, whichever one it is, but it'll be Team Secret's chance to do it.
And they do it in the fashion that they've done